Alright, we're going to learn to model and solve problems with chords and tangents. I know you can't wait. Alright, so first thing we need to talk about is what a tangent is. So, tangent line is the line AB down here. So it's a line that just touches a circle only once. Alright, so if you'll notice, we have a radius CD and we have a tangent line AB. So here's the theorem. It says if AB is tangent to circle C, then AB is perpendicular to CD. So if you have forgotten what that means, this little sign stands for perpendicular. And then hopefully you remember that perpendicular means a 90-degree angle. So anytime you see a radius and a tangent touching each other, they are going to meet at a 90-degree angle. So that is very important because then you can make things like right triangles and do Pythagorean theorem, stuff like that. We'll look at some problems in just a minute. Alright, so this I think looks like a duck every time I see it. So it says if you have two tangents from the same external point, so like AB is a tangent line, it touches the circle once, and CB is also a tangent line. If both of those are tangent and they are touching like the same point B, then this says that AB and BC are equal to each other. So that's pretty easy, I think. So anytime you see a duck going on two tangents and they're touching each other at the same outside point, then those two tangent lines have to be equal to each other. Alright, and then here's two more formulas that sometimes you'll see, not really a big deal. You won't see a lot of it, especially like on the EOC and stuff, but just in case you ever do. So if you have two chords and they are making an X like in the middle, then the two that are beside each other, like A and B, you're going to multiply together and they're going to equal the other two that are beside each other. So C times D. And then this last one, you'll hardly ever see it, but I do want to show you just in case one day, I don't know, maybe you're going to need it. If you have two secants, so you would do like A times A plus B, and that has to equal C times C plus D. So a little weird, but you just follow the formula, and the math's pretty simple. So we'll look at some problems, and oh, I forgot this one. And this one you're hardly ever going to see. So this is a tangent and a secant. Yeah, just follow the formula. Let's look at some problems. Alright. So, if JK is tangent to circle L, we're going to find X. So this is a little weird, but so here JK is my tangent line. And then you should recognize that this is a radius. And so that very first rule that we looked at said if you have a tangent and a radius touching each other, they're always going to touch at a 90-degree angle. So if you notice, what you just made is a right triangle. And so we can use Pythagorean theorem to figure out what X is. The only other thing that people get really tripped up on is the measure 11 is just the radius from L to J. So you have to know that this also from ML is another radius. So it's also 11. So when you draw the right triangle, I'm going to draw it over here. This side is actually 22 because it's 11 plus 11. And then X is the side we're trying to find. And then the hypotenuse is the 25 side. And then just remember that it's A squared plus B squared equals C squared, so always the hypotenuse. So go ahead and square all of that. Alright, and this is what you end up with. And then you want to get rid of the 484, so you're going to subtract it from both sides. And 14. Alright, so X equals 14. And I use my calculator to check my math because I don't even trust myself anymore. Okay, But pretty easy. Just had to know that if you see two tangents, they're meeting at the same point, they have to equal, set the two things equal to each other. So the math is very simple math. Alright, let me move this one over because I can't really see. Oh, I just cut it off really weird. Alright, so we want to find what x equals, and so down in the left-hand corner over here, I put the formula that you would use, so hopefully this makes sense. So this says that I'm going to multiply the two that are beside each other, so 14 times 15, and that's going to equal the other two that are beside each other, so x times 10. So 14 times 15 is, let me write it in purple, 210. And that equals x times 10 is just 10x. And then to get rid of the 10, we're going to divide both sides by 10. So, not too bad. X equals 21. Yay! And we're done with that one. Alright. Okay, so this time we're going to find from N to L. And then down here on the left-hand side, I put the formula that you would use. So pretty much just doing exactly what it tells you to. So 10 times 10 plus 42 has to equal 13 times 13 plus x. So that's how you set it up. I'm going to go ahead and distribute things together. Alright, so just simple math, and then I'm going to get rid of the 169 by subtracting it from both sides. So I got 351 equals 13x, and then I'm going to get rid of the 13 by dividing both sides by 13. So I got x, oh, let me write, come on, x equals 27. So not too bad, I don't think. And then down here, same thing, I'll put the formula so you can kind of just recreate it. So 24 squared is going to equal 18 times 18 plus x. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute things and simplify. Alright, and then I'm going to get rid of the 324 by subtracting from both sides. So I got 2, if it would let me write, 252 equals 18x, and then I'm going to get rid of the 18 by dividing both sides by 18, and so I'm out of space, but x equals 14. So really not bad, just have to know the formulas. The math is really simple. I think you can do it. Problems on haiku, let me know if you have trouble. Reach out to your friends. If you don't have friends, make some. You need to work together. Okay, bye.